Alright guys, Beyond here back with more Forbidden West. We're doing the last bit of side quests here. We're doing Forbidden Legacy right now. Continue on. I'm probably going to listen to podcasts as well. Or I'll be talking about Forbidden West.
The first Kill Connor Club was in
2014, yeah.
Yeah, it was.
I was
13.
13.
Yeah, dude.
I think these were Eileen's.
Man.
Think about it this way.
Dream to discover even one of the
2014,
ancestral
like,
Then maybe they'll help with the door. It's art, I think.
Yes, I think this was commissioned in honor of the company's
2014, like, that's a third of my life I've been doing this stuff.
Oh my god.
With James, a third of my life.
Crazy.
It's been with us a long
That's-
time.
Fucking insane. What do you
Wild.
mean?
Do you
A
reckon
third of my life?
Damon Sheep is playing? Do you reckon he's getting come on his chest?
I forgot. I haven't thought about that guy
Oh.
in 2 years. Like, dead set.
Game and sheep.
I forget he was on the first one. I only just think
Yeah,
of
that's
James
so
and
weird.
Whenever I think of the As Always
That
podcast,
must be the
it's
guy.
Luke was on more Kill Connor Clubs than Joe earlier, to
Apple
be
used
fair.
it in
oh
most
god,
of the
yeah, Luke.
construction
I forgot he was on loads of
Yeah,
these.
we
Six
did it. We had him on
was
the
successful
Syndicate reveal
Huh.
episode.
Yeah,
Looks like some
That
kind
was
of
fun. Where like there was a
Oh,
huge
man, that's
delay
nostalgic.
because you were busy uploading your coverage.
Must be the H212.
and
Oh, and
Tyler
I had
was
1
like
megabyte a
half
second
Yeah.
upload speed.
So
That's the
such a
upload speed I had
huge
before
delay.
the National Broadband
Oh.
Network came in.
Uh,
Like,
I just remember when Luke
1
said something
megabyte.
funny,
Macquarie Award.
and then like you laughed at
legacy
it, James,
says
and then
I
obviously
knew
Luke
it
laughed,
when
and
she
then
was
like
40.
5 seconds later,
it was that Dead Kings bit.
And you'd already started the next
42,
conversation.
six.
So
What
was this one?
What did you say this was
That
for
was
again?
good stuff.
The company's
But yeah,
25th
it's
anniversary. Looks like it-
42,
it's
6,
Horizon
25.
Forbidden West is definitely one of those
All
games
the
that
numbers
is
you
just
mentioned.
it's ticked all the
I wonder
boxes
if
for
they
me,
make up the
and
passcode. That's
it's
it.
doing all the things that I just have missed. Like another game has not really done for me since those old Assassin's Creeds, and I don't just want to compare Horizon to Assassin's Creed because obviously it does its own thing and it's great in its own right. But you know, in terms of like what it means to me, it does all of those things that Assassin's Creed used to do that meant so much to me, and it just feels good to have that space filled with.
It's official. Eileen Sasaki, CEO.
Is this the end of the mission? If it was, then I could have just fucking finished the last
and worst
episode.
daughter in the world. Security had to escort Dad to his vert. Guess we'll be speaking through lawyers from now on. Looking down at the world from here. It's hard to see the details. People become risk factors, statistics, far too easily. Omuramba was supposed to provide clean water, improve lives. It was easier to pretend there wasn't a problem. Easier to believe the lie was truth. But I don't want to pretend anymore. I will build Leviathan right. No more shortcuts. No more lying just to save face. It won't undo our sins. My sins. But maybe we can still do some good.
She overthrew her father, took over the company, so that Leviathan wouldn't end up killing people.
It sounded like she regretted covering up Omuramba's failure.
She wasn't perfect. Not a paragon, as the Quan believe, but not a monster either. She tried to make up for her mistakes.
And now you know the truth.
As for the data, Leviathan... Yes, it's here. Downloading a copy now.
Is something wrong?
I think I'll stay here a while longer. There's a lot more data that I want to look through.
Are you sure you'll be okay on your own?
Down is always easier than up. Let's speak again when we're back at base.
Okay. I'll see you there. Well, after climbing all the way up,
Yep.
why not glide down?
Wait, you're going to what?
Just thinking about it.
Something.
Okay.
it reminds me of my first
So.
love.
Exactly.
It's that puppy
Exactly.
love. Yeah. It's treating me good. It's beautiful.
It's treating me better, you know? That's...
Yeah, it's treating me better than my ex.
Yeah,
alright?
yeah, no, it's your second love. It's it's your second love.
It's the one where you realise this is where you should be.
Yeah. This is where I was always meant to be.
And then you like break into song. This is you break into song, you know. I'll find my way. You know?
Yeah.
And then I can go the distance starts playing, and then you're just like,
Oh my god.
Oh my
Aloy!
god.
Did you
sorry,
make
I'm
it?
excited then. I got
Yeah.
really
Sure
excited.
did.
That's fine, right? Hey, look, we're
Amazing.
the best at making
Well,
fucking
see you back
random
at base.
analogies.
Good luck out there.
On the podcast.
Yeah, we'll do
Oh
this
god,
one.
what was I going to say? There was like... I find myself a lot while playing Horizon, just sort of muttering to myself. Cool. Like,
No, I know what you mean, though.
With like a fucking like smile on my face, like...
There's
Oh,
points,
God,
it's
that's
one of
funny,
those
right?
games where as much as I'm so glad it's not a game I've streamed, I'm like, fuck, I would have loved to have my reaction to all of this. Like, just to have it there, like, it would have been so cool. Like, I would have been freaking out if there was a camera on me. So, like, I don't know, knew people were watching me. Like, I'd be able to let it all out and be like, oh, this is insane. Like, I know that thing and I understand that, and, like, I'm so
Yeah.
glad they've done this.
Whereas when you're sitting on your own, you sort of have to...
Yeah, you have to contain it, because if you're, like, reacting
Inside.
on your own when you're just sort of in your room playing, it's like...
You go, oh my god, that's amazing!
It's like, you can't really do that, it's a bit weird, but I'm thinking it.
That is a bit... I am indeed... My pinging out all sorts of information as I'm playing Horizon.
Yeah, it's truly amazing, and it does... The way they've handled this sequel does really, like, bode well to me for, like, God of War and Spider-Man in the way they're going to do those sequels to be sort of, like, building off the original. When you look at, like, the God of War trailer, that's immediately the vibes you get as well. It's like Ragnarok sort of just looks like God of War, but we're continuing on another adventure with Kratos and Atreus, and we're taking us somewhere new while also being very much the same, and I think that's going to be something really, really good. And if there's one thing that can get me, you know, to not hate Norse mythology, then it is God of War Ragnarok. Hopefully.
You know, the last Norse mythology game we got, it hurt.
It was a lot, and it's made me like hate the concept of like Norse gods and Vikings
and like glory and like...
but the good thing is though, we're gonna get to kill them. I hope. Like we're gonna get to kill all these fucking
Yes, that's a
gods.
great
I'm gonna get to like
Stupid
rip
fucking
Thor in
Oh, if
half.
they let... Oh, I've never wanted to kill Atreus so much in my life. You know what I mean? Fucking Logan.
My son,
My son.
That's my son!
Stupid.
They took all I had. All I had.
You're just a 75,000-year-old Loki? Are you kidding me? That's how they ended? That's the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life. It's so dumb.
God, this is a
So
far
dumb.
cry from the Valhalla spoiler cast episode 1 for this podcast. Me and James are going, no, Tyler,
Bassam in the wolf
it's
shirt
good,
is really
Tyler."
good. I really like Bassam in the wolf shirt.
Oh, it's so fucking dumb. As you can see, I'm wearing the wolf shirt because the wolf kissed was in the Animus. Do you get it? It was a funny joke.
I never thought I'd have a better take on something than the Assassin's Creed movie and how I got everyone, like, I awakened everyone's mind to that. I actually think Valhalla's that bad that that's a better take. Like, me being the first one on that from the moment I finished that game. Like, literally, even in my reaction video, you watch my reaction videos, my final one, I just go, nah to all of that.
They
like,
played
I'm literally
tricks
like,
on my
nah.
emotions. They had Bayek letter and they had Desert
Yeah,
in
they
it,
made me
right?
feel
I
things, and
couldn't-
I was like, oh, I like that, and it made me want to like it.
They blindsided me.
I felt, yeah,
But I think as well,
any of
They
those
put
moments, even
assassin
when-
symbol-
yeah, I saw an assassin symbol for the first time in God knows how long, and it made me feel things. It was like streaming it. I think is like one of the things that did it for me. Was like I could blank out all the bad shit because I could just talk and like have chats with chat, and that was so much fun. And then when something good did happen, I'd be like, oh, this is great, this is so cool, and like.
You know how different people in different offices can work on the
Our
same
last
presentation at the same time? Lonnie,
There has to be a way to fix it.
How?
We just need to replace the batteries and the sensor
When
unit.
you stream something, you almost
Right.
we
because they're
part of your
just
brain
lying
sometimes
around the jungle
because you're
for us to
just like
find.
you're just having fun with chat. You know,
Wait.
when it was always going to change the way I viewed it. Like I streamed that first episode to
It might have
2,000
what we
people,
need.
which was
What ancient
insane.
That's true.
When
I
we
had
abandoned our
2,000
ship,
viewers. Like
we were
there's no
washed
way I was
ashore
ever
on
going to
the beach
hate that game.
southwest of here.
There were
Darby was
ships
there in
built
the
by
chat.
the ancestors.
Darby was in chat. It was
Overseer Bohai would
yeah,
never
it
let
was
us
an
do.
entirely
Dude,
different
I'm not
experience
losing any
to
more
if I'd have sat
navigators.
playing it on
It's
my
like
own.
when
He needs
Loomis
us
like,
to
I
guide the
loved the
fleet
Assassin's
home.
Creed movie, but he was in the
No
prequel.
one's
Exactly,
going
it's
home
the same
without
thing.
a working gyro
I'm not gonna
compass.
blame
I can
you
get them
for
for you.
not
Of course you
realizing.
enjoyed
need
that
to look for
experience.
sensory
Like, how would you
units.
not have
They're
enjoyed
usually
that
on a ship's
experience?
antenna.
And batteries.
So
Three
James,
of
you
them.
enjoyed the
They're small,
experience of
so
like,
they might be hard to
Yeah, and
find.
that's the thing. Like, I look
I've
back
got
on when I played
something for
Valhalla, I'm like, I had such a good time. Like, as much as I
We
can
put
look
our
at the
faith
game
in
now
you
and be like,
once
yeah, the
again,
game sucks. I'm like,
Sister.
I had such a good time playing it, and I will never not think that
Yeah,
because the
yeah.
streams were so fun. They were some of the best ones I've ever done, and so like that memory to me is like I loved playing Valhalla, even though the game sucks. I loved playing it.
Yeah, and there's
It
also
does
good
suck.
stuff
It
in
sucks
there.
really
Yeah,
bad.
there is good stuff in there, but it's just not worth
No,
talking about,
no.
is it really? Like, because the actual game itself has been grinded down into absolute particles of shit.
Yep, exactly, and that's Valhalla.
Yeah.
So
And now there is Ragnarok coming out soon, whatever the fuck it's
the
called.
Rage
Yes,
of
you got the
Ragnarok
big
or something.
Cert, the Rage of Ragnarok. As you can see, you got Eivor fighting big fucking giant again.
Oh, amazing! I hope everyone loves it.
Hope everybody loves it. Hope everybody's choices.
So there you go.
Yeah, and it's like bigger than The Witcher 3.
Yeah, it's like the DLC is like bigger than The Witcher 3.
That's so good. And it'll imagine how bad it's like imagine making a game bigger than The Witcher
It's
3.
alright though. It's alright though, 'cause you can get Bastion game.
Oh god, Assassin's Creed Rift. No, that's not what it's called. What's it called?
Rift.
Assassin's Creed
What's it
Rift.
called? I'm forgetting the name.
I don't know.
Rift. Yeah, Jesus Christ. Yeah, very excited for AC Rift.
You get
You
to-
see, we can't criticize it because there hasn't been a trailer yet. So we haven't seen the game. But when there has been a trailer, we still can't criticize it because the game's not out yet. And then also, when the game's out, we still can't criticize it because we're wrong. So, you know.
Because you're wrong, and actually, did you not know they made this game because they wanted to tell this story? Did you not know that they made this game bad because they wanted to tell a bad story?
It's bad
Right?
because it was meant to be bad.
What?
You don't get it?
It's like people that are like, I'm sorry, do you not understand the point of Odyssey is because it wanted to tell the origins of the Templars and the Assassins from...
I get those comments.
I don't
Those,
know what the fuck
I don't think it had anything to do with that.
no, it didn't.
No, I don't think it did. I don't even know what the story of
It's
Odyssey
not me
is.
neither. But it's those comments all the
Why are we
time. It's
talking about
crazy.
Assassin's Creed?
Oh, this is my favourite thing. I love it.
we talked about for Horizon for half an hour, and then we just like, right,
We were just like, we just segued into it. Like, there was no conversation there. We were all just like, we're gonna talk about Assassin's Creed now.
No, we were comparing. It was just because we were comparing how good Forbidden West is and like what a difference that is to what we've been getting from
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed. Especially because the last time again did this or a sequel did this was Brotherhood,
It was.
where you just took everything you loved about it, especially when you've got a great character. Like how good
Yeah.
is Aloy?
I love
Like come
She's
on.
incredible. She's one of my favourite characters. Like, I'm just like, every time like I see her interact
She's
with
iconic,
people,
dude. She's
I just love
literally
it. Like
iconic.
the little quips she has with people, like the way she just doesn't take shit. I love that so much. I just think she's just like,
Yeah, it's because she's like a level above all the normal people in the world. Because she's this Chloe Elizabeth Sobek who's like really, knowledgeable about the old world. She's done her research. She's experienced, and it's like she just doesn't deal with anyone's shit.
yeah.
Like in that first settlement, that guy that was like taxing people and like forcing the workers to not work.
Just
She
like, I'm
just
not
fucking-
dealing with
she
this.
just fucking
Yeah.
does him in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's so cool about her is that, like, when there's people that are giving a shit, she doesn't take shit, but she still respects everyone, even though they are, like, below her in a way. Like, she still shows everyone exactly the same amount of respect
They're lesser.
until
There.
they don't show her
Selection.
respect, and then she's just like,
Maybe it
she's
has
not
her
going to back
parents,
down.
Christian,
Like,
to
she's
fix the
always the
gyro
most
compass.
confident person in a room. And I think that's like really
Yeah.
like, but it's in the most endearing way as well. Like it's not obnoxious.
Yeah.
It's like
It's not where she's like, oh, look at me, oh, I'm Aloy, I'm better than everyone here.
She
It's
knows
like,
herself, and she's
she's a
confident in
person.
that. And I think it's just like it's
she's a
really
being.
admirable. I think it's really well done. And obviously, like Ashley Burch's
Yeah, same
performance
here.
is just brilliant. Like she manages to like just all of the little nuances in the performance and like she's just like fantastic at it. She's a wonderful actor.
She really is. She's the perfect actress for the role. Oh man, God, so we can't really talk about much more without getting into spoiler territory. We've already talked about sort of slight spoilers.
Yeah.
I want to talk about so much more.
I know.
know.
The spoiler cast is
Oh
going to
my
be
God,
amazing.
there's
It's going to be so much fun.
It is. It's going to be like 3 hours long. It's going to be us gushing about it for like 3
It's going to be
hours.
amazing.
Just
There's
fucking
going to be so much to talk about, and like, you know, by the time we finish it, we're going to be like talking about, you know, where are they going to go next as well. Like, we're going to be able to talk about like the ideas for
or
a
possible
sequel or a
DLC.
DLC. Yeah.
Sony is still like. Sony is still such big dicks. They're still the biggest dicks in the room. Xbox can buy anyone they want to buy. They
Yeah, that's the
whatever
thing,
they want
like-
to do. But Sony has the biggest dick, and they keep
They
flopping
do.
it out like piece by piece. And this is just another
Like-
example of that. Where it's like, and you're telling me you've got God of War sequel after this?
Insane. Like,
Are you
that's the thing with
serious?
Sony.
Honestly.
In the
They
same
literally,
year?
like, people would say, like, Xbox, you know, they buy all these big studios, like, they buy Bethesda, they buy Activision, and people are like, what is Sony gonna do? Well, Sony will just release a game. Like, that's their answer to it. They'll just release a
great
game,
fucking game.
and then, you know, that's it. That's all they have to do. Because Sony are just on top
That
already.
is actually,
They just release a top tier fucking game. They just release God of War and win Game of the Year, and, like, you know, just easily. That's just what they do.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Xbox at this point, there's still no competition there. Like it's just night and day between the two, and like Microsoft can buy all these.
The main thing that
studios,
Xbox has is Game
yeah,
Pass.
they've got Game Pass, and
And they're making
there's
a
some
lot.
good stuff there. You know, Xbox does some good things, but in terms of their games, like there's just nothing. There's just nothing between them.
It's like Halo.
Yeah. Oh
like,
my god.
It just
Oh,
doesn't shine a
shit,
candle
I
to the quality of Forbidden West or what I expect from God of War. Like, it's not, and that's fucking Halo. That's Microsoft's Xbox's biggest franchise, and still they fuck
And
the
it can't even hold
multiplayer
them.
up.
Dude, it can't even lace up Horizon Midwest bootstraps.
Honestly,
Are
it really
you
can't.
crazy?
It can't. It doesn't even shine a fucking candle.
It's crazy.
Oh,
I
man.
liked it. I liked
And
it.
you're
Yeah, I'm a
talking
I'm a
about
Sony
this year
phony.
alone. Yeah, so did I. We all liked it.
Yeah, I
but
really liked it.
Forbidden West, and then you've got Ragnarok, which is gonna be better than this.
It's gonna be the
I'm
granddad.
just saying it now.
I don't know whether it's gonna hit me in the same
Yeah, I mean,
way,
this-
but that's just me. Like
Ah,
I said this before. Like
Yeah, we'll see, man.
I
We'll
was
see.
more
We'll
hyped.
see.
But I also
you know,
thought
Forbidden
that
West.
this game couldn't. I didn't think I'd be more hyped for God of War, and I didn't think Forbidden West was what Horizon or Dawn was, but somehow exceeded that. So like, I'm just like a fucking.
I think Ragnarok is going to be fucking crazy. I actually do.
I think
it's gonna be
Ragnarok.
mad.
I think it's gonna turn everything like that was in the first God of War turned up to fucking 11 the same way Forbidden West does.
Yeah, it's gonna make
There's
the
gonna be this
original
crazy story super early. Like it's not gonna be slow. There's gonna be so many fucking crazy fights within the first like 5 to 10 hours of the game.
Yeah, well, that's sort of-
Holy shit, this game's
That's
so
not what you have
hard.
to do, because God of War was very slow in what it did, and it did that with purpose. It's not a negative or a flaw of the game, like it needed to be slow.
It's a part of it. It adds to
Yeah,
it. But I
this
think
one
in
needs
this
to be
one,
like,
it's a
we've got to get
super
straight
hard.
into things. Like,
Super
maybe you
hard.
start off a little bit slow, like maybe it starts off and feels a bit like God of War, and then like within the first hour, 2 hours, like you immediately speed things up and add stakes, and it turns into something else. And I think that'll do it.
It's like God of War OG, or like the reboot. That was like a journey. The game was like a journey where you were going through this Norse world. But Ragnarok is going to be like a mission. There's going to be a purpose. Like it's not just going to be let's get to the top of this mountain and scatter the ashes. It's going to be like a purpose for what they're doing, and they're going to be going after someone, or someone's going to be going after them. Oh, I'm so excited for that as well. Fuck me. When's that coming out?
Just this year.
End of the year.
2022.
Yeah, that's it this year.
They said it's on track. They did say it's on track for 2022.
Yeah, they did. I mean, they showed that big trailer at that event, that Sony event a few months back.
And it looks well.
Yeah,
it looks well.
they've got a lot.
Like,
It looks like they've got a lot
done
there. So I would think they're pretty close.
And they're doing what Forbidden West does, where they're just using the same engine, what they've built, and using its assets again, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like, it literally looks like it's doing exactly what Forbidden West is doing. That's what I've loved about the build-up to both of these games, is I'm like, they just look like they're doing it again, but bigger.
How a sequel
But
should
bigger
be.
and better. And how a
should
sequel
be.
should be.
More
And if
is
Forbidden West is anything to go by, God of War Ragnarok, like God of War, the first game, I never played a God of War, and I'm like, this is the best game I've ever played ever. I think it's the greatest game of all time.
It is very good.
And Ragnarok, I'm like, I think it's gonna be better. Like,
Yeah, man.
I hope so.
Yeah, man.
I hope so.
Yeah. I think God of War Ragnarok has the potential to dethrone Red Dead Redemption 2 as my favourite game, which is... I don't say that lightly, because Red Dead Redemption 2...
well, Kingdom Hearts 1 is my favourite game of all time. That's my favourite game. If you ask me, like, objectively, what's the best game you've ever played? I think God of War is.
Yeah.
I think Red Dead Redemption 2 is like, I fucking can't tear off of it. But
I
it's
find it so
pretty
impossible to rank my favourite games. Like, I just find it so hard, because it depends on the day. I could, like, be like, you know what?
But you were a bigger knee jerker.
But it just depends. Like, I've just got this collection of games where I'm like, that could be my favourite game of all time. Like, but they're so different. Like, I can't possibly compare Red Dead Redemption 2
It's like
with Persona
top of the line
5 Royal. Like,
quality.
they're completely different games. They're different ends of the spectrum. But I pretty much love them equally.
And
It's so difficult for me.
And you can't, like, compare The Last of Us 2 to, like...
No,
Spider-Man
they're
7.
so different. Like, it's just so difficult to do.
It's that certain line of games that are just a cut above the rest. And there's a lot that fall into that category. And I think games like, Last of Us 2, God of War, Red Dead Redemption, Spider-Man...
The games that just really resonate with you, where you're like, wow, this had like a profound effect on me when I played it.
Yeah.
But this is what I'm saying. Like, this year, some people might say, oh yeah, but Sony put out all their best stuff in 1 year. They did the Horizon sequel and then they did God of War. And I'm like, oh yeah, but did you look at next year where they've got like Spider-Man 2, where there'll be like a new Naughty Dog game, that's some medieval game that becomes the greatest game of the generation somehow, the same way The Last of Us 1 was. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're just gonna come out with this. They'll have a Ghost of Tsushima sequel. Like, they're gonna just come out with a couple of games a year. Every time you think they can't keep doing it, they do it better.
And they'll bring
we're
out
like,
new IPs
what
that are just as
the
good as well.
fuck? Yeah, like there's gonna be a new Naughty Dog IP, and everyone's going to come.
Yeah.
Like, that's
Final
what's
Fantasy 16 as
They'll
well.
release
Like-
like a 5-second...
That's
Oh, is that
PlayStation.
a PlayStation?
Is that an
like,
exclusive?
title?
Woo! Wow.
Wait, what?
They do it better.
And they'll bring
we're
out
like,
new IPs
what
that are just as
the
good as well.
fuck? Yeah, like there's gonna be a new Naughty Dog IP, and everyone's going
Yeah.
to come.
Yeah.
Like, that's
Final
what's
Fantasy 16 as
They'll
well.
release like a
Like-
5-second...
That's
Oh, is that like
PlayStation.
is that a
Yeah,
PlayStation?
Is that an
like,
exclusive?
title?
Woo! Wow, dude.
Oh damn! Final Fantasy 16.
Yeah, that's another big one.
And Final Fantasy
Yeah.
7.
7 Remake Part 2.
Remake.
That's
Oh,
another
dude.
PlayStation exclusive.
Oh, that's not even on my like brain right now.
I forgot that Final Fantasy 7 Remake was
Yeah.
a PlayStation. I forgot that was an exclusive. Dude,
I know.
what?
It came out on...
Wait, that's an
Yeah, well, it's on
exclusive?
PC now, but that's 2 years after it came out.
It's on PC now. I forgot. Wait, really? That?
Oh.
Dude, that's a masterpiece game.
It is.
Like, 'cause I just finished it. Like, I'm like, I forgot. I thought that was on everything. Wow. Wow, dude. Wow, so... They're the biggest
They're so
dicks.
much.
They're the biggest dicks.
Get from software. It's like fine, not like how to invest in the market.
I haven't heard anything. But it'd be interesting.
I saw a lot of people talking about like, oh, if Sony to get from software, it'd be like just a fucking huge thing. I mean, I guess we already have Bloodborne, which was like a PlayStation exclusive.
Yeah, so they do end up like partnering
Again, I
with
don't-
studios and stuff. Like, I mean, Persona 5's PlayStation
They do.
exclusive as well, which is huge to have that. So
They've got so
And that's
many.
not
Sony
making
6
some
will
of
come to
them.
Xbox with the same PlayStation exclusive. Who knows? But that'll be another big one as well. Like they're in so many different markets as well. Like Gran Turismo is coming out next week as well, which is big in its own
That's true.
way. one of the kings of, racing simulators and everything, since, way back in the day. So that's another huge one. They've got a lot of different games that they put out. They're not just, God of War, Spider-Man. There's,
They've also got Rio.
yeah.
Like, that's bad.
Yeah, wow.
That's wild. Like, when that
I
was
think there's
announced,
going to be a Ghost of Tsushima sequel that comes right away. This generation is going to fucking like God.
I cannot believe it. Yeah. They that Japan open world, like, just like stealth.
I think when you look at Icky Island, that DLC, the way they refined every aspect of Ghost of Tsushima's main gameplay was like incredible. It was like better. I like played it and I was like, wow, this is so much better than Ghost of Tsushima was in terms of how it handled all of its side activities, its open world, progression, all that stuff. I was like, this is just like incredible. So like, imagine what they're going to do with Siege, how they can refine all of the side content to make it more depth to everything. The environment's like, it's going to be insane to see what they do with Ghost of Tsushima.
I can't wait. I just like sitting here, just letting Sony have their fun. Just over these years.
Really just
like,
treat me like a fucking
Yeah,
they really just use me.
and I eat it all up.
Just use me,
I
Sony.
eat every drop. I love it.
Yeah, I've just been like the back, and exploring it. Like I don't want to do it. Like I don't even want to do a side mission. I just want to just drag around, and I'm just.
I think it's crazy, like, the way they curate the world so you see specific things at specific times is really cool. Like, I've noticed, when they want to introduce a new area, they funnel you into it. You can't just, like, stumble across it. Like, they specifically funnel you through a pathway where you're going to see this, like, gorgeous vista in the distance with, like, the mountains and the fog and, like, broken buildings and stuff, like, if you're getting close to the coast. It's really well done. Like, it's not just like a beautiful open world, it's a perfectly crafted one, which is wild.
Like you're saying, the way that they, like, in the first game, something that they nailed so well was that first time you go over the mountains and you see the desert in Utah. And that George, I remember, like, whoa, what a vista. I'm like, they can't do that again because again, that's something the first game you do. No, dude, way more in this game than the other game. Way more. Every time you go over anything, you'll look at something, you'll see it's all like you look over and you're like,
whoa, that's new.
You're like, all that land
like
is
this
explorable.
something
Oh,
I
fuck
saw
off.
that I'm like, wow, I can't believe I didn't like. I expected to see San Francisco, right? Like you see that in the trailers, but there's certain things you're like,
Tech sensor units.
whoa,
Should be
dude.
all here.
There's something I haven't got to yet. I saw it in the distance and I'm like, what the fuck is that? I can't wait to go over there. Like, whatever that is.
Like, that's what games where you're not just
Targeting the lead
on the
horse.
map or the compass, you're looking at your surroundings and you look into the distance, which it's so immersive. It's so fucking immersive. And what I like as well is how, obviously, you start over the east of the map, and the further you go west, the more crazy shit there is to explore and discover. It's like such organic exploration, because obviously the whole point of the game is to go further west, the more you play, and it just feels so natural. And I like how that first bit of the map towards like Barren Light is very Horizon Zero Dawn feeling, and then as you get further west it all diversifies and changes, and there's like deserts and tropical areas, and obviously the places by the coast with the beaches, and it looks completely different. But the further you go east it looks more like Horizon Zero Dawn, and obviously that's just natural. It's like a natural landscape. That's how it would work in real life. It's just, I love the biomes. So fucking crazy.
And it never, like, biomes don't overstay their welcome. Like, you don't feel like you've been in a desert for, like, 5 hours.
I have very sensitive skin. Aveeno Calm and Restore leaves my skin feeling
Tell
soft
Gohard to
and
contact
silky.
Dora. I'm sure she can help.
Desert for like
May the
5
ancestors
hours.
steer us true.
You move through it relatively quickly, but it doesn't mean it's a small area. Like it's a decently sized, like space to be in. But it does like
Keep to
so much
flame.
variation.
Okay.
Feels like the
That
world's
was
always
just.
changing.
Oh wow. Oh wait, we reached level
Progression
50.
too. Like as you go through through
Holy
like
shit.
a desert to like a more rocky area, and then you start to see
Again, is that the
grass
max
and
level?
trees. Like as you head more north,
It is.
that progression from desert and very south to
That's
going from like
interesting.
rocks to like a grassland to sort of more trees to maybe there's then a bit of snow and then it's mountainous and then there's loads of snow. And it's
So
like
I'm
that
kind of
progression
thinking
is
like,
just
should I
so
just do
like,
these
yeah,
now?
It's really really nice. Whereas you look at like
I
I mean,
kind of want
biomes was
to.
something that they not perfected, but they did really fucking well in Horizon Zero Dawn.
yeah.
So to see
What am I
it
missing? Oh,
perfected in
this.
Forbidden West, it's
Yeah, and it's because you know you look at something like Assassin's Creed Valhalla and like as you head north, you go through like a grassland to all of a sudden there's snow and then you're in a snowy area. Like it's not very interesting, and also it all looks exactly the same. Like it's just the same fields and trees, but like this
the same exact color grass for like far
it's
too
ridiculous.
long.
It's insane. Like you don't need a world that big, and Forbidden West like proves like the world is not the biggest world you've ever played in. Like,
Or should I just end here? We're at
probably a bit
30.
bigger than Zero Dawn, but not.
Oh, right. I guess we will end here.
It's very
I guess
similar
I'll
in
continue on.
size.
It feels pretty
I
big
think
to
it's.
me.
I think what's.
They make
I
a
think
great
it's
use of
Yeah, for now.
dense. It's
Thanks for
dense
watching.
and it's got a bigger scope. But I think